if you ever had a gut feeling, then you know that your body has never let you down. And if you know that it has never let you down, then that tells you that the body never lies and has a consistent track record. And your body is able to give you answers to things that you may be consciously struggling with because it already knows the truth. So I want to introduce you to a concept. Literally talking to your body like it's a third person, a third party, and feeling for its response. I used to do this more often, and I don't know really why I stopped, but I recently started doing it again. For one, I can actually feel a very tiny burst of energy relief with everything that I say. If I pay enough attention, words are energy, and everything gives off energy. Let me not. But what I want you to focus on, though, is asking your body questions, maybe about how you feel about something, how you feel about a decision. What is something? Is this a shift? Is this a sign? Is this blah, blah, blah? You know what I mean? And just see the type of sensation you get in your body and where. And what I think is most important is the feeling, like if it feels good or bad, but I think the location can provide some very valuable information. Now, I'm not an expert on chakras or chakras. I don't even know which is the more appropriate CH sound to use. So, not coming off as an expert here, but I will tell you something that I have been experimenting within my own energy centers and how that's been going. I asked my body a question. First, I just took a really slow exhale because slowly exhaling tells my body that it's safe when you're breathing really slow like that. So before I ever like tap into it or ask any questions, I like to make sure that it feels decently calm and safe. Like I'm not always sitting down for full meditation, but I still like to do that super slow exhale. Like that to me, that's like me calling. That's me dialing in. And then I'll ask my question, and this question can be whatever. Is this a sign? How do I feel about making this decision? How do I feel about that? And I was able to see for the question that I had, I don't really want to go too in depth about what I was asking about, but the question that I had, I would ask like the regular version of the question at first, and then I got this really hot, intense sensation in my chest, but it felt good though. It was a good feeling. And then when I asked the opposite of that question, just to see, like, or I said the opposite of it, just to see like what I would feel, I felt this kind of like cold, almost like pit, like feeling in my lower stomach. It was very interesting. And there are some questions that weren't localized, and I would feel it like a zing up all the way from like my lower like belly area to like out of my head. Like zing. It was like light, it felt good or whatever. And then like I said, I would ask the opposite and stuff, and I would always feel like a cold, like it literally is so opposite of like feelings of heat and light and warmth versus feelings of that doesn't resonate. And because the body never lies, I think this could be very valuable information and a very valuable tool. So I encourage you to look into it. I'm going to be looking into it even more. And you already know me, I be deep diving ridiculously hard on stuff. So don't be surprised if I start bringing this up more. But I think this could be very valuable if you're able to tap into the sensations in your body and you're able to ask direct questions and make direct statements. In fact, when I first used this, I used this to tell if I actually genuinely felt I was worthy. Because when I first started this journey and I was hearing about worthiness, I was like, of course I feel worthy. Of course I'm worthy. And then I sat in my bed and like, calmed down, whatever. And then I was like, I just said the statement, I feel worthy, and felt what I felt in my body. And I felt it wasn't a clear, light, good feeling. It was a little bit of like yeah, I'm worthy, question mark. Like it was very interesting. And that started a lot of that self inner work and stuff. Now it's like a zing, nice light feeling. But um, I do think that this work is powerful. And so, something to consider if you're trying to get some answers right now, maybe, and figure out what you should be doing on your path. Always going into the body, especially since how we feel is our internal GPS system.